What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video here at Chris's MMA Universe. So it looks like the UFC 249 card is actually going to happen officially on May 9th. So it looks like Dana White is actually going to be the very first sport in all of sports to actually face the pandemic head on. And of course, it's going to be under all safety precautions. I believe it's going to be done in an empty arena. Now, I don't know exactly for sure. This is just me speculating. And I do think it will happen in an empty arena, just like he was talking about before all of the sports were actually canceled and ESPN and Disney executives asked him to step back. So I do believe it will be in an empty arena. But the card will be happening. I mean, empty arena or not, these fights will be happening, which would headline Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje for the interim world championship, lightweight championship at that. And the winner of that will be able to face Khabib Nurmagomedov for the undisputed strap. Now, I am wanting to see Tony Ferguson win this fight, only because of how much disrespect he has received from the UFC. Let's just call it what it is. He has faced so much disrespect that I would love to see Tony. Now, I love Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje is so game, such an icon of the sport, and we know he goes for it. I mean, Justin Gaethje is so tough. I mean, he's as tough as they come. I can't say too much good things about him. I just can't. You just can't say enough about Justin Gaethje to actually just speak about how great of a fighter he is, how game he is, how tough he is, how, where he comes there to win. He comes there to bring it. Every fight of Justin Gaethje, to my knowledge, and this, me thinking back on all his fights here, I mean, what fight does he actually go to that's not entertaining? I mean, I love him, you guys love him, but I mean, I think a lot of you can agree with me. Tony Ferguson needs to fight Khabib. That's the fight we need to see. Now, if Justin Gaethje were to win this fight and end up fighting Khabib, who's not going to tune in for that, right? I mean, of course, you got my pay-per-view buy for sure. So who will not tune in for that? I mean, Justin Gaethje was spoken about many times in the past where they felt like Justin Gaethje would be the guy to actually beat Khabib. The way he just goes in, he moves forward. He's just, applies pressure. And he will be looking for the knockout, but he's there the whole time. Now, of course, we all want to see Tony versus Khabib. But I think either one of these guys facing Khabib will definitely be, we'll definitely have our eyes glued to the television. I know that for sure. And myself included, of course. But let's look at the co-main event. Henry Cejudo versus Dominic Cruz. How can you not be stoked for that fight? I mean, Henry Cejudo as the current double champ. I know, the Triple C, what people call him Triple C, he calls himself Triple C. For him having the Olympic gold medal when he was 20 years old. But, I mean, him actually going up against Dominic Cruz, the former bantamweight champion, who was actually like the longtime champion where he was pretty much like unbeatable at a point. Now, Dominic Cruz had a long layoff with knee injuries and, pretty much ended up having to be stripped of the title where, Renan Barao was actually a champion, was the interim champion, and then ended up defending the interim title. And I guess he was just waiting on Dana White to make it official on him being the champ. And then, we all know TJ Dillashaw took the strap. And then Dominic won the strap back from TJ Dillashaw. And then, Dominic Cruz ended up being dismantled by, Cody Garbrandt. And then TJ Dillashaw got it back from Cody Garbrandt. TJ Dillashaw actually was stripped of the bantamweight strap because of him admitting to cheating after he lost the 125 bout championship fight, actually, for where it was actually an opportunity for TJ Dillashaw to be the double champ when he lost against Henry Cejudo. And Henry Cejudo was able to fight to actually defend. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. Not defend, but he was able to fight for the vacant title. So, ended up winning the strap. So, now he's actually going to do his first defense. I know it was supposed to be against Jose Aldo. So I'm not really sure what's going to happen there, because I know that was supposed to happen at UFC 250, but looks like he got moved up. I don't really know what's happening. This is me just guessing, and this is me without checking that maybe Jose Aldo got hurt. I'm not really sure what happened there, so I'm not really going to step on that right now. But, I mean, Henry Cejudo versus Dominic Cruz, this is just something that I just cannot, I cannot leave this alone. I'm very excited. I'm almost more excited to watch that fight than Tony Ferguson versus Gaethje. I mean, that fight can headline on its own. I really can't believe this, guys. I mean, Henry Cejudo versus Dominic Cruz, I do believe Henry Cejudo will win this fight, though. I do believe that Henry Cejudo has proven himself time and time again. He is the current double champ right now. And I think he's only, one of a double champ out of two double champs currently right now, which the other one will be, of course, the bantamweight and featherweight queen in Amanda Nunes. But, I mean, Dominic Cruz versus, I just can't believe this. I'm sorry, but I just can't believe this. I really want to know, who do you guys think will really actually win this fight? I mean, I think Henry Cejudo is going to win. I think he's going to get his arm raised. I do believe that he will be superior in the fight. Now, Dominic Cruz is very fast. Dominic Cruz is barely hitting his fights. But, I mean, come on. His last fight against Cody Garbrandt, he was for sure wasn't going to get hit. He says, I think, to quote him, and I mean, I could be paraphrasing here, but he says, I'm not Floyd Mayweather, but I don't get hit either. Okay, that was proven wrong in that fight. Now, I'm not bashing Dominic Cruz. I love Dominic Cruz as an analyst. I love Dominic Cruz as a commentator. I love Dominic Cruz just as a fighter as a whole, right? But I do believe Henry Cejudo will win this fight. I believe he has the superior wrestling. I do believe that he has great boxing, great striking, great wrestling, and just having that wrestling threat. Now, I know Dominic Cruz is no slouch on the ground. I know Dominic Cruz has great hands. But Dominic Cruz leaves himself open a little too much. I do believe that Dominic Cruz, he doesn't really block. He comes in on weird angles, yes, but I do believe Henry Cejudo will be there to counter. I do believe Henry Cejudo will be there to actually be able to finish Dominic Cruz. Now, I do believe Henry Cejudo can finish Dominic Cruz. I do believe he will be there to finish Dominic Cruz. But I'm not going to say that he will finish Dominic Cruz for sure. Dominic Cruz is a gamer, and usually if you end up beating Dominic Cruz, it's usually by decision. Now, at least as of late, right? And, him being in the UFC. So, I don't really see Dominic Cruz actually being finished. Now, I'm not saying he won't be finished, but I don't really see Henry Cejudo actually finishing him. Yes, he is able to. Yes, he will be there to try to finish him. Yes, he will be there to finish him. But it doesn't necessarily mean that he will. I'm just predicting that Henry Cejudo will win. And if I had to officially predict, I believe Henry Cejudo is going to officially win the fight. By my official prediction will be by decision. And I do believe that it'll be unanimous. I really want to know what you guys think about this fight. I mean, this fight is just so spectacular. This entire card is just stacked. I mean, even the prelims main event is Cowboy versus Pettis 2. How can you just not, how can you not be excited? How, right? Where Dana White is actually stepping up to the plate. He's making UFC the first sport to actually face this head on, of course, with all safety precautions in place, but he is going to be the very first sport to actually open back up and, get back to business. Now, every single sport in the world has been on a pause. But Dana White is stepping up. He's going to press the play button finally to actually get sports back up and running in the UFC's world. And I cannot wait to watch this, where the UFC universe will actually be up and running. And I will be right here giving you video after video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the like button on this video here. I want to know your guys' comments. Make sure you subscribe. I know I said it again. Subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. And I'll see all you guys in the next one. Stay safe out there.